Chapter 3. Protecting the Castle. It took a lot longer to build a stone castle than a wooden one. It also cost much more. Most lords thought stone castles were worth the extra time and money. When a stone castle was complete, it was very hard for an enemy to get inside. Stone castles often had towers that reached high above the walls. There were watchmen in the towers. When the watchmen saw an enemy coming, they blew horns to sound an alarm. A sentry is a soldier who keeps watch for enemies. Sentries, with bows and arrows, stood guard along the tops of all the castle walls. The sentries were protected by stone battlements. Battlements had gaps called crenels, and solid places called merlons. When the sentries heard the watchman's alarm, they could shoot arrows at the enemy through the crenels. If the enemy shot back, the sentries could duck behind the merlons. If the enemy got past the tower watchmen, they still had a long way to go to get inside the castle. First, they had to go through Barbican. The Barbican was a walled passage that led to the castle gate. There were big doors on each end. If the enemy tried to sneak into the castle, guards could close the doors. The enemy would be trapped. If the enemy got through the Barbican, they then had to cross the moat. The moat was a deep, wide ditch that ran all the way around the outside of the castle walls. The moat was usually filled with water. Yikes! Some moats may even have had crocodiles. The only way to cross the moat was to go over the drawbridge. The drawbridge worked sort of like a seesaw. When it was lowered, it made a bridge from the Barbican to the castle gate. When it was raised, it blocked the gate, and there was no other way across the moat. A sliding door made of iron bars also protected the castle gate. The door was called a portcullis. Behind the portcullis was a pair of big wooden doors. The doors were very thick. They had strong bolts. When guards at the castle gate heard the alarm, they raised the drawbridge. They lowered the portcullis. They shut the doors behind the portcullis. They locked the bolts on the doors. It was almost impossible for the enemy to get inside the castle. Turn the page to see how all the different parts of a castle fit together. This way. Castle wasn't just the building where the Lord lived with his family. It was everything that was built to protect the Lord and his land.